episode of Heart to Palate. Today I'm going to share a recipe for mutton chops. This recipe I learned from our very dear friend Pintia, we call him. His name is Shirish and that's his trademark, and he's an excellent cook. Malwadi cooking च्या बाबतीत त्याचा कोणी हात धरू शकत नाही, and he taught us this recipe basically. So his recipe I'm sharing with you all. It's amazing and please give it a try. So for that we need about 3 pounds of mutton chops, which is 1 kg and a half of mutton chops. Then I've taken 3 tablespoons of red chili powder, 1 tablespoon of garam masala, 1 tablespoon of amchoor powder, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 4 tablespoons of chops masala. He uses the Shaan chops masala, that's what I'm using, and it has some salt. That's why I'm just going to restrict the salt right now. So I'm just going to add teaspoon of salt right now and quarter teaspoon of hing or Asafotida. Then 4 tablespoons of dhania powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and 1 teaspoon of haldi. So these all dry ingredients are going to go in for marination. Let's get started with marinating the chops. I'm going to leave it aside for about an hour and a half, and then we're going to start with actual doing the masala. Now you can see the mutton chops. I've applied the marination nicely to this mutton chops. I'm going to cover it now and leave it aside for about an hour and a half. The longer you marinate, better it is, so it's up to you. And then I'm going to show you how to do the actual cooking part of it. And we're going to cook it outside. It's going to be slow cooking, so the way this is cooked, it will, enhance the flavors of the mutton chops. So that's why you don't want to cook pressure cooker. If you're in rush, might as well do that. It's been exactly an hour and a half since I've been marinating my mutton chops. I'm going to start cooking them now. So I've taken 4 tablespoons of ghee, homemade ghee. And we are going to slow cook this because the flavor is amazing when you cook it outside. You can use your slow cooker also, that's fine as well if you have one. But pressure cooker, it gives different flavor. When I'm in rush, I would make it that way. But now since I'm making it over the weekend, when you have time on your hand, you can always, relish these kinds of recipes and you can cook outside. So now I've taken minced ginger garlic thing. It's like you can see it's coarsely ground. It's not completely paste. So that I'm adding. So it's minced ginger and garlic all together. To that I'm adding the whole masala, garam masala, 4 bay leaves, 1 badi ilayachi or masala ilayachi, 4 cardamom, green cardamom, 3 small pieces of dalchini or cinnamon sticks, about 7 to 8 cloves, and 15 to 18 whole peppers. So I'm going to saute this masala now, the whole garam masala and the ginger and garlic. How I wish you could smell this aroma, it's amazing. And I'm going to add my mutton chops, which are already marinating for about an hour and a half. Look at that. And you want to take a shallow pan, and the pan which has like a thick base so that it won't get stuck, and you have to keep stirring them about every 15 minutes. I'm going to cook them for about at least an hour and a half and keep checking them in between every 15 minutes because you're not going to add any water to this. It's a dry masala, and then at the end we are just going to garnish it finely chopped coriander and pudina leaves. And it just tastes the salt. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon or 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt on top of this because It would need a little bit more salt, I think. So I'm adding about 3/4 teaspoon of salt on top of what I had added for my marinade earlier. And we'll stir it a bit. Let's see. And make sure you come and check every 15 minutes and let the mutton chops cook on medium flame. If you feel it's getting burned, then you have to reduce the flame and again keep stirring and let it cook for about 1.5 hours at least. It's already started to smell so amazing. So I've covered my pan with the lid and slow cook it for 1.5 hours. Keep checking every 15 minutes and the flame should be on medium. If you feel it's sticking, the masala is sticking to the bottom of the pan, you can reduce the flame. Look at the color of the masala now, your chops. It's been 15 minutes, so always, as I told you, keep an eye and keep stirring them every 15 minutes, which I'm doing right now. Take the pieces which were on the bottom and the up so that you can cook everything evenly. Look at that color, and I'm going to again cover it and let it cook slowly. I tell you, the flavor with this slow cooking is amazing because it infuses the entire flavor into the meat and it tastes amazing. Now it's been about 1 hour and 15 minutes that I'm cooking the chops on low medium flame, and you can see the meat is kind of cooked now. It's falling off the bone. I would cook for another 15 minutes and it should be completely done. But they're nicely done on every side. You can see that. Look at this side. So I'm just going to sprinkle some coriander and pudina so that flavor also will go in the chops. So now it's still 15 more minutes. I'm going to let it cook. I've added the freshly chopped coriander and few mint leaves, just hand torn and added over it. And I'm going to cover the pot, and in 15 minutes our mutton chop should be ready to be served.
Now our mutton chops are ready to be served. The recipe is in the description box below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Heart to Palate.